Sleep problems. In Australia, over 1.5 million people suffer from sleep disorders. More than 1 million people from sleep apnea. The treatments have become a big industry. Each year, hundreds of people still die from asthma, and thousands are dependent on asthma drugs. You know, you can get better yourself, naturally. How? By simply correcting the real cause of the problem. Hi, I'm Brian Firth. I've taught over 6,000 people, full-time for 10 years, how to retrain the way their body has come to breathe and to dramatically improve the quality of their sleep, reducing their dependence on symptomatic treatments such as CPAP, splints, medications, by training them how to correct the real cause. And I'm going to nutshell it for you in just over 10 minutes with the help of a bit of Otmar Liebert. So, what really causes poor sleep? Apnea, snoring, daytime fatigue, chronic cough, anxiety, panic attacks, even asthma. All people with these problems do not breathe correctly. Their breathing has gradually and permanently formed an incorrect breathing pattern. All people who snore have poor sleep, sleepy during the day, fatigue, have nasal problems such as sinus, hay fever, panic attacks, asthmatics. They all breathe incorrectly. No exceptions. Here's what happens. We all know, just like when some people overeat, their body puts on weight gradually and permanently, and we say they become overweight until they do something significant about it. Well, the same thing happens with your breathing. When people over-breathe, and this is any kind of mouth breathing at rest, walking, sitting, sleeping, or stress, our modern lifestyles do it. When people over-breathe, their body gradually, the breathing mechanism that controls their breathing changes gradually and permanently. Just like our fitness changes, our eyesight can change, our blood pressure gradually. And when the breathing gets around 3 times what is normal, problems occur. But most people don't realise it. During the day, they walk around, breathing through their mouth a few times. They don't think there's anything wrong. But when they lie down at night, okay, this increases your breathing further. And for many people, this increased breathing causes their mouth to come open while they sleep, whereas never used to. And this heavy breathing causes a noise. And the noise of someone's breathing while they're asleep is what we call snoring. That's all it is. People don't start life snoring. It's a gradual thing that happens as our breathing has changed. Now, breathing is all about getting oxygen to your body. With these guys, our lungs. Okay? And when we don't breathe correctly, our body's not getting the right amounts of oxygen, so our body tries to stop you breathing like that by squeezing your air passages at night. Stopping you breathing at night, that's called sleep apnea. Or blocking the nasal passages, or for some people, squeezing the bronchial tubes, this is asthma. Now, when we go off to our doctors, here we go, off to our doctors. Our doctors treat all these conditions separately and symptomatically only, okay? So, drugs for nasal conditions and asthma problems, sometimes even surgery. But when it comes to sleep, it's sleep studies with all these clinics everywhere. There's a guy looking with all these wires on. And then they formally diagnose you with sleep apnea, and then they want you to wear a mask on your face every night for the rest of your life, or maybe a dental splint. Now, these treatments all attempt to reduce the symptoms only, like a painkiller. Now, there's nothing wrong with a bit of symptomatic treatment. We all need a bit of painkiller from time to time, but we should consider these things as short-term only. The more we use, the more dependence, and you never get better. No attempt is ever made to try and correct the real cause of the problem. So, here's what you should know. Here's what I want to tell you. You can change the way your body breathes. What I offer is something called a breathing retraining course. It's been available in Australia for 24 years. It takes about 4 to 5 consecutive days, about 2 hours a day, and it teaches you how to correct your all-the-time automatic breathing mechanism, which at rest is gentle and nasal and pretty quiet, whether you're awake or asleep. Tens of thousands of Australians have learned to retrain their all-the-time breathing and got better. Now, if you do this course, your life, well, look, thousands of people. Here's Paul Rodriguez's book he brought out last year about him being on the CPAP machine for years and how he came off it and got better. Tess Graham wrote a book a couple of years ago about just purely on breathing retraining, okay, with 20 years of experience. Goes around teaching people who should know how breathing works, how to do it properly. My friend Jennifer wrote this book 10 years ago, okay? And what about this? Here's Nancy. Nancy was on the CPAP machine for 15 years. 15 years, hasn't been off it for 5 years, thanks to doing a breathing retraining course. Now, if you do this course, your life will be transformed. I'm serious. Within days, you'll be sleeping better, waking refreshed, no dry mouth. Within days, sleeping, breathing through your nose. No need for studies or CPAP. Over 60% reduction in snoring within a couple of days. And if you're an asthmatic, you're on a path to zero asthma. None of this controlled business, zero asthma. And with a little application for the rest of your life. And if you need to, you can even go back and pass another sleep study to get everybody off your back, okay? So get it off your medical history so they don't start threatening you, your licence and your insurance and stuff like that. Hey, look, it's not a miracle. It's not a miracle. I'm not here to tell you it's a miracle. You need to apply and learn some special, gentle breathing exercises and a fair bit of education, but it's not difficult. I've taught over 6,000 people over the last 10 years. Now, okay, hang on. Why don't my doctors and specialists do this, okay? If you can get better, why don't they do this? These people are supposed to know it. Many people ask me this, and there's a fundamental answer to this question. And the answer is that our doctors simply don't know everything. Shock horror. And they will usually never say these words. You'll never hear a specialist say these words. I don't know. What they say is there is no evidence for any treatment that's not their treatment. Now, saying that there's no evidence is the same as saying no one has spent $2 million on a study to try and sell you something. Unfortunately, even in 2015, two simple things are not well understood by mainstream medicine. These two simple things was worked out by a rather eccentric but quite brilliant Russian doctor about 60 years ago. And here they are. Here's the two things that doctors don't seem to get. One, people's breathing changes gradually and permanently with time, and this causes problems. The second thing is it can be corrected. Money and politics drives medical treatments everywhere. So, how can you take action? Look, it's okay to be sceptical, okay? My aim here is simply to make you aware that there is another way, rather than just being a slave to symptomatic treatments. Learn more. Find out how breathing really works. Deep breathing is not good for you. It's incorrect. How it causes these problems and how you can correct it. I do this in the seminar. Seminar with whiteboards and things like this. And then decide the breathing courses for you. Contact me. 0413 482 765 or email me. Firth, like Colin Firth, a famous actor. firthb@gmail.com, or check out my website, protecohealth.com.au. I urge you to seriously considering doing my breathing retraining course, but you've got to do it properly. Pateco Institute Method, BIBH, ISO 9000 2008, as soon as you can. Take 5 sessions over 5 consecutive days, about 2 hours a day, first being the seminar. Now here's what you don't do. You don't do this. You don't go off and buy a cheap video, okay? There are people trying to sell you stuff everywhere. Do not try to retrain your breathing from a YouTube video or a book, okay? Or a self-help book. It's like learning to drive a car from a book or fly an aeroplane. Oh, what am I going to do? I've got to land now. Or where's the look? Oh, how do you do this? It won't work. You'll probably make yourself worse, get confused and disappointed. Take action yourself. I've taught over 6,000 people. I'm based in Brisbane. My main practice are in courses in Brisbane, South East Queensland, Perth and Canberra. Today, more than any time before, we need to take responsibility for our own health and happiness. Your doctors are just one resource. Find out more. Now, if you live in southeast Queensland, guess what? You live in paradise. It's time to start enjoying more. More energy. Wake refreshed. Walk further. More zest. Enjoy a glass of wine or a beer. Go out at night occasionally. Correcting your breathing will assist every other condition as your whole body will be getting more oxygen. Breathing retraining is the single thing that you can do to dramatically improve the quality of your life versus more pills and treatments. Whether you're 5 or 95, you can get better. Treat the cause, not just the symptoms.